Now to Decision 2024. County leaders are warning voters now. Don't expect Arizona to know who won major election contests on election night, the day after, or even several days after that. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us for 12 News at 6. I'm Kadiva Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. The county officially approved its polling locations this morning. And if history is any indication, and it probably will be, determining the winners will take time, maybe a lot of it. 12 News journalist Joe Dana joins us to explain why that's even more likely this year. Joe?
Let's start with the two biggest reasons the election will not be typical. For the first time since 2006, your ballot is 2 pages long. That means expect bottlenecks at some voting centers, longer lines, and yes, longer waits for results.
I do remember George Costanza had that wallet, right? The Costanza wallet, just stuffed with receipts.
Having a little fun with what will be an important point. A Seinfeld reference makes its way into Monday's board meeting.
So this is what we're designing for our envelope, is what I call the Costanza ballot.
Yes, if you get the mail-in ballot, you'll be folding 2 18-inch stock paper ballots to either mail or drop off on Election Day. It's those 2 pages that are expected to cause longer wait times and longer lines at some locations on Election Day.
We know it's going to take extra time for those voters to be able to complete their ballot.
To prepare, the county approved a record 236 voting centers and 35% more voting booths than in 2020. And an app that updates every 15 minutes will show voters where the lines are shortest.
This is 17-inch. Okay.
During a county brush-up on the election, supervisors also asked about the basics, like supplies.
Is there someone responsible making sure that the toner level is okay?
That we're not going to run out of this specific 80-pound paper.
We have more than enough.
The 7 armed security officials at this meeting, now commonplace for county meetings, also a reminder of the turmoil election officials have endured. Supervisors are trying to get ahead of false conspiracies that have led to threats.
With the information that you provided to us,
Republican Shauna Bullock of North Phoenix gave a platform to filmmakers who spread many of those lies.
There's been this ridiculous, what I would call, controversy over drop boxes. There's a lot of different ways to grift over election denialism or election conspiracy theories. We saw a movie called 2,000 Mules. Not a lot of people know this, but the makers of 2,000 Mules withdrew that movie. If anyone is afraid of voting at a drop box, you can vote at the United States Post Office box.
And of course, the way to avoid potentially long lines on Election Day is to take advantage of early ballots. 78% of voters are signed up for it.
You know, talking about misinformation, Joe.
Yeah.
And it's such a real concern right now, especially. What about the efforts by the county to keep social media influencers or others from spreading misinformation on Election Day?
Yeah, it wasn't just legislators like Shauna Bullock spreading misinformation. There's a big worry here. So the county has launched a nearly $1 million ad campaign to educate voters on basics. They are also meeting personally later this week with county and state party leaders to really explain clearly details about what to expect. Supervisors pointing out during the last 2 elections, it was former GOP party chair Kelly Ward who caused so much chaos by repeating false information. So the county is hoping to prevent that this time around by really communicating with those county leaders.
All right, Joe, thanks.